Morning dears, how are you today? In this session, we will continue learning about the scientific skills. Have you ever seen these shapes before? What do you think these are? They are called charts or documents, and they are used to present data or information. To present the information, we can use a table, a bar graph, or a concept map. Today, we will learn how to construct a table. This is a table. Let's see what does it consist of. It consists of columns. This is one column. This is another column. And this is another column too. Also, we have different rows. This is one row, another row, and another row. And the columns or the rows are separated from each other by different lines. And usually we use a ruler to draw them. Now, how can we know what are the subtitles, or how many columns do we need, or how many rows? This depends on the question that we have. Also, whenever we draw a table, we write for it a title, always starting by a table showing. This is one form of a table. But today I'm going to teach you an easier one, which is called a classifying table. So, how do we construct a table of classification? Let's see. First, we construct two lines, horizontal lines, as you can see here. Then we draw the columns, the vertical lines. Then we write a subtitle for the first column, and then a subtitle for the second column. Then we classify the given information in each column, and finally we write a title. Of course, we have to make sure that our table is closed from all sides. As you have seen here, we didn't construct any lines inside the table. This is because it's a table of classification. So we have only two groups right here now. Okay? Let's see an example. Now here we will have a document which shows living things in nature that can be animals or plants. Observe with me. What do you see in this figure? Grass, tadpoles, frog, flies, sun, water weeds, fish, and snail. So let's read the question together now. We have to construct a table to classify living things in this figure into animals or plants. So, in the title, they are telling us that it is a classifying table. For this, we have to draw two columns as we said, put a subtitle for each, and classify each group as animals or plants. Okay, let's see. So here we have the first subtitle, the second subtitle, and the classification of the different living things. As you can see, the frog is an animal, so we write it underneath the word animals. The water weeds is a plant, so we write it underneath this subtitle. Now, is this clear? Continue with me the other animals. Right? Tadpole, fish, snail, flies. Very good. And here we also have the grass. Now what's missing? What did we say that the last thing that we have to do? The title, very good. It's a table showing the classification of living things into animals or plants. On what can we depend in order to write the title of our table? On the subtitles and the question. So in the question they told us that we have to classify the living things into animals or plants. So, and this is what we say in our title. We always start by a table showing the classification of living things into animals or plants. One more thing, don't forget to draw the lines between the columns and the rows, and to make sure that the whole table is closed. Now let's see another one. It's an application, which means that you have to draw it yourself before we correct it. So pause the video, read the question very carefully, and then come back here to correct. Are you ready? Read the text carefully, then answer the question below. This document shows animals in nature. If the animal has bones, we classify it as vertebrate. If it does not have bones, then it is classified as an invertebrate. Do you remember the vertebrates and invertebrates? These types of animals you have studied in grade 3. Now let's look here. We have a horse, we have a bee, a snake, an octopus, an eagle, a worm, a fish, and a starfish. Understand the document very carefully before starting to answer. Now, what is the question? We have to construct a table to classify the animals in the above figure into vertebrates and invertebrates. Do you understand now? So, remind me, what should we do now? We read again the question. So we have to classify the animals into vertebrates, which will be our first subtitle for the first column, and invertebrates, which will be our second subtitle for the second column. Okay? And here, do we have to draw any lines for the rows? No, excellent. And why is that? It's because we need to classify. Excellent. So here, as you can see, we have a column for the vertebrates and a column for the invertebrates. The vertebrates are horse, snake, fish, eagle, and the invertebrates are bee, worm, starfish, and octopus. Again, how do we write the title? We look at the subtitles, and we can refer to the question to know if it's a classification table or not. So our title in this case is a table showing the classification of some animals into vertebrates and invertebrates. Excellent job. Don't forget to correct using green pen. Now let's see what do you have to do as a homework. So here also we have a document that shows some substances around us. These substances may allow heat to pass through them, so they are called conductors of heat. Others do not allow heat to pass through them, and they are called insulators of heat. Let us read together what do we have in the document. A towel, wood, pan, golden ring, kettle, and jacket. And these are the objects that we have to classify as conductors or insulators. Let's see the question. Construct on your copybook a table to classify the objects into insulators or conductors. Here we have a hint for you. Don't forget to add the title. Okay, dear. See you next time. Do well in your homework.